Superman and Lois's return to Smallville is set to be upended by a mysterious stranger. Hello, everybody. I'm Steve from VALHARTV, and today I'll be reviewing episode 1 of Superman and Lois. Now, the episode opens up with a montage that serves as a quick recap of Superman's history, including how Clark and Lois met and them having kids. Getting married, everything like that. I thought this was a really good opening sequence out of like any of the shows I've seen so far. This I thought was really good. We do cut to a scene where General Lane arrives at a nuclear power plant that is on the verge of meltdown, and he hits a button and calls Superman to stop the reactor from melting down. So Superman, of course, does his thing, and he literally picks up a giant glacier that he made and puts it into the reactor to cool it down. So I thought that was really good. And at that point, he tells General Lane that it looks like somebody destroyed part of the wall in the reactor that he had to fix. So it was sabotage. So I thought that was pretty clever on them. And we get a really good shot in that as well for the Superman suit, which I thought was fantastic looking. Clark ends up returning home, and he learns that Jonathan has made starring quarterback for the varsity team. So I thought that was really kind of cool because it shows him interacting with his kids. And Clark's, obviously really proud of Jonathan for that. He then goes and checks on Jordan, who's playing, I believe it's Injustice 2, and he's Raiden. We see like there's kind of tension between them because we do find out that Jordan has social anxiety that he's been diagnosed with, so he's on medication for it. Which I think is kind of like like the way they did it at first. I was kind of like, oh man, this is going to be one of those types of characters, and it starts out where he is kind of a little annoying, but he actually gets quite better, like quite good, quite better. He gets better towards the end of the episode. So I really thought that was kind of cool. And like the next day after all this happens, Clark and Lois start talking about telling the boys about Clark being Superman, and Clark's kind of afraid of it. You can kind of tell because he's like, "Oh no, they're not ready. They're not ready. They haven't really showed any powers yet. What happens if one of them has powers, the other one doesn't? What's the other one gonna think?" And he's going through all this stuff to justify why he doesn't really want to tell his kids that he's Superman. And Lois is like, listen, your parents told you when you were 6. So we really should have told the kids sooner because, they're like 14 in this. And Clark is, again, he's really against it, so they kind of put that to bed for a little bit. And then Clark ends up getting a phone call from Dr. Fry about his mother. So we see him race right over to the cat farm, and she's like, "Oh, how did you get here so fast?" And he's all like, "What happened?" And this was really a sad moment in the show. I was honestly looking forward to seeing Martha more in the show, but spoiler, it's a minor one. Unfortunately, we have to set up why they are thinking about going back to Smallville. Martha does die, and I was very sad. I wasn't expecting that. And we see that Clark and Lois bring the kids back, and then things start to get more complicated for them. We really see things like people are talking about Smallville, how everybody is leaving and not coming back like they used to help the community. And, it kind of runs like that, but we do see Jordan and Jonathan talking to a girl named Sarah, and they want to go reset a router in the barn. Now, again, I don't know why, I don't know why the router would be in a barn, but for their internet. But every time Clark and Lois brought the boys to visit the Kent farm, Clark would always tell them not to go in the barn because there was like a lot of stuff that could kill them in there. And that was their biggest reason. Like Jordan, he's like, well, no, Dad said, we can't go in there because there's a lot of stuff that would kill us. And they go in there anyways. And of course, the router's up super high. So, this sets up sequences and events that happen. And after like what happens in the barn, Jordan starts to really think that things are being hidden from them by his parents. So him and his brother kind of really start to snoop around and things like that. So it really kind of shows that they're trying to figure things out because of moving back, or coming back here for the funeral has set up certain events that they end up showing towards the end. So I thought that was really kind of cool. And plus we do end up seeing like a mysterious figure who is the one that's sabotaging the nuclear power plants. And we do eventually see, like, towards the end of the episode that Superman meets this mysterious armored figure who knows pretty much all about him. He literally tells him he knows all about, like, how he's the last son of Krypton and all of this, and he's basically been like doing these things to assess Superman's abilities. And at the end, we do kind of get set up to see who it is, which I thought was really cool. This episode's effects, too. The effects in this were great. I mean, I don't understand what the CW is doing with their other shows. Like, The Flash is actually pretty good, too, especially for their CGI and things like that, but their scripts are, like, so bad. In this one, I actually really liked the whole episode. The script, too. Like, their dialogue was great. I had no issues with any of that. The effects, I mean, were, like, way better than most of their CW shows. They put, who is it? Tyler Hoechlin, in a Superman suit that really reminds me of the one that Henry Cavill wore in Man of Steel and the other movies. I actually really liked this suit. I thought it was really fantastic looking. And the sets, honestly, were great. Like, the Kent farm alone was amazing. It looked just like the other Kent farms, especially like the when we saw the one in Crisis on Infinite Earths. And from, like, the older movies as well. Like, they really did a fantastic job picking out the farm for the Kents. I really loved it. The music, absolutely had no issues with any of the music. Thought it was great. Now, the acting overall on this was great as well. I actually liked, like, all of the acting in this. Like, Tyler and Elizabeth have been playing Clark and Lois for, like, a couple of years now. On and off, they've had a lot of cameos in the different shows, including Supergirl. And they have really good chemistry. Now, Jordan and Alex, who play the twins in this, are honestly believable as brothers, and they kind of start out a little annoying, but then they get better towards the end of the episode. So I really liked the dynamic they brought to each other and to the family. Like most things, especially from, like, the Equalizer I've been reviewing, the family dynamic really doesn't work for that show, but it actually works for this. Like, the family drama they bring in is really good. It's well done. It's not awkward, it's not, like, cringe or anything like that. I really liked it. Now, this episode was emotional. It had a lot of emotions going through it. And it shows Clark's struggle between being Superman and being a father. So we really get to see that dynamic where he's trying to juggle both. And it also shows, like, what he's willing to do to be there for his family and stuff. Like, at the end of the episode, they really have to make a decision on if they're going to stay in Smallville or go back to Metropolis. So we really get to see that dynamic play out as well towards the end of the episode. But I really thought this was a good opener to the season. Honestly, I really enjoyed this episode. I thought it was great overall. I would give this at least an 8 out of 10. Yeah, 8 out of 10 easily. This was probably one of the better opening episodes I've seen on on a lot of different shows. This was really good. If you guys like what I do, please hit the like button and subscribe. And leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about this episode. I'd like to hear from you guys. Take care for now, everybody.